And we are live. You already know who it is. My name is Mike Kyle, aka the Fantasy Vulture. I have over a decade worth of fantasy football experience, and I've continuously competed for fantasy championships over the course of the past 6 seasons. Let's make it 7 in 2020. But enough of me. I'm here for you. On today's episode of the FB Show, we are continuing our Week 1 previews, breaking down every single game, all through the lens of fantasy football. Up next, we got the Seattle Seahawks at the Atlanta Falcons. If you are excited for this preview, be sure to hit that like button down below like an open receiver downfield, Patrick Mahomes style, and smash that subscribe button like a power running back up the middle. And last but not least, you can follow me on all social media platforms at FFVulture. That's Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Of course, the website is ffvulture.com. I'm ready to roll. I am in the zone. Like, we are here. It's finally hitting me that fantasy football is back. And that just means, one, we got work. There's work to be done. There are championships to win. And I'm really excited about that because I love competing and I love competition and I love fantasy football because it gives me both of those things. All right, let's go. Let's go right in, shall we? Where's my little graphic? There we go. Let's pull this up. The Seattle Seahawks versus the Atlanta Falcons. I'm ready to roll. This is my favorite Week 1 matchup. I'm so excited for this game because, first off, these are two really good teams, and secondly, it's fantasy football galore. All the hype from 2 or 3 players merged into one game to start the season. Oh yeah, I'll take that every single day. This is going to be an electric game. The over-under is set at 49, which I believe is the 3rd highest on the week. I'm going to smash the over for this game. Spoiler alert, start everybody if they are involved here. As far as some injury notes go, let's just get this out of the way. Seattle's running back, Carson, it should be full go with that hip injury. So all signs point to start Carson. He should be healthy. He should be active. And then Julio Jones was limited was limited on Friday with a hamstring injury, but is expected to play despite that. All right, let's go. Start sit. Who we starting? Who we sitting? What are the fantasy pieces here for this game? All right, this is funny actually. Your Seattle Seahawks auto starts. Carson, Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. Maybe even Greg Olsen. Maybe. Like, who knows? Why wouldn't you, right? If the over-under is set at damn near 50. And we know how much Russell Wilson loves to throw, to tight ends. It's possible. Maybe you want to. Go ahead, run that risk. And Atlanta Falcons auto starts. Todd Gurley, Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Hayden Hurst. This literally might be the fastest weekly preview of the season because there's literally nothing to talk about here. You are starting every single player from these teams, I think, without hesitation. What is the world where you sit DK Metcalf, where you sit Calvin Ridley, where you sit Hayden Hurst, where you sit Matt Ryan? Like, there isn't one. This game, I'm trying so hard to actually depict how excited I am. But when I was going through the games for this week on Tuesday, I think it was when I started doing my notes, I just saw this game on the schedule, and because that was really the first time where I took a look at Week 1, and I was just like, oh my goodness, this is going to be heaven. The fact that this is the game that we get to start Week 1, and very similarly to how we all felt about getting the Texans and Chiefs to start the year, that's how I feel about this game in particular. Football is back, fantasy is back, and this game is the epitome of it. Some things that I'm looking at throughout the course of this game are DK Metcalf's involvement. We saw during the course of last season his progression throughout the offense and where he was involved and what he was asked to do evolved week over week. So I'm really excited to see what happens in year 2. There's been a lot of talk, especially from the fantasy community, of is he going to surpass Tyler Lockett in this offense? Remember, I traded DK Metcalf for A.J. Brown and Zach Moss just a few weeks ago, basically about a week and a half ago. I love DK despite making that move. I truly, truly do. For me, that move just came down to simply I see AJ Brown and DK along the same trajectory as far as what their career and as far as what their paths in the NFL are going to be, especially for fantasy purposes. Like, they're both probably going to finish as top 5 wide receivers at some point, and then I'll take on the additional asset of Zach Moss in that deal because I do need running back help. And then the other thing I'm looking at is Calvin Ridley's targets. Of course, Calvin Ridley has been the fantasy darling all offseason long. The tag, the next Chris Godwin, has been thrown on Ridley time and time again. I also own him in Dynasty, so I'm excited to see what he looks like entering year 3. Matt Ryan's been praising him a lot, saying that this is like he's finally just playing. He's not focusing on the play or the route or what he should be doing. Or trying to just win matchups. He's literally just out there playing football. And so there's obviously a level of comfort and reliability that Matt Ryan sees in Calvin Ridley. I also saw a stat that Calvin Ridley is like 4th since 2018 in passer. He's 4th. Calvin Ridley is 4th since 2018 in quarterback passer rating. So that basically what that means is whenever Matt Ryan throws to Calvin Ridley, good things happen. And so with the loss of Austin Hooper and Mohamed Sanu officially in 2020, I'm really excited to see what Calvin Ridley does given his new opportunity. And then finally, the other thing that I'm looking at is Hayden Hurst. Speaking of the Austin Hooper loss, I want to look to see what Hayden Hurst's involvement in this offense should be. I said this time and time again, Hurst should easily step into 100 targets this season, and he was my favorite late round tight end candidate in every single draft. So I love Hayden Hurst this season, and I want to see what he does in Week 1 versus the Seattle Seahawks. But I think that's going to do it. Like I said, this video is going to be super short, not a whole lot to talk about. Just start everybody in this game. Do it. You will not regret it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. We are doing this for every single Week 1 game. The link to all of those will be linked right up here. You can follow me on all social media platforms at FFVulture. And, of course, the website is ffvulture.com. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you very much. Be sure to leave me a review wherever you are listening. And remember, people come and go, but fantasy championships are forever. I will see you in the next video.